Alright, y'all, I'm gonna try to get a quick video in here. Like I said, I hadn't had a lot of time to make a lot of videos, and it's a really busy time of year. And anyway, I'm at work in the tree cutter here, so I made a few videos in here and everything like that, so maybe we'll call this cutter talk or something like that. But anyway, I'm gonna jump right into it. I appreciate everybody watching and following and subscribing and everything like that. And this video might ruffle some feathers, I'm not sure. It really depends on what you're trying to do, I guess. But anyway, I'm gonna cover a little bit of prepping, some homesteading, and some small farming, because honestly I believe they go all in together. And again, it depends on how prepared you want to be. If you want to be, lightly prepared, say for a 2-week, whatever, power outage, snowed in, lockdown, whatever, something like that. But if you're really thinking long term, everything SHTF, hell in the handbasket type of deal, you're definitely going to be leaning towards prepping and farming type of stuff, being able to produce instead of consume. And on that topic, it is a lot of work, it's a lot of money, and it's a lot of discipline. And for us, it's a lifestyle that we all lean into, the whole family, me and my wife and the kids and everything. That's something that you have to accept. Also, I'm a little bit tired. I got about 3.5 hours sleep last night, because yesterday was a busy day, as usual. Yesterday evening we were shucking corn and all of that, and then coming in and eating supper and getting the kids to bed and working on the corn and everything like that. Cut it off the cob, washed it, boiled it, and then canned it, and all that stuff. It was about 3:30 in the morning. No, it was about 2:30 or 3 in the morning when we got done with the canning process on that. And in the meantime with that, I was stringing some more snaps. I picked a bushel of them the other day, and I still got some more to pick. And then after picking, of course, it comes with the stringing, the snapping the ends off and washing them and canning them. We've got a pile of tomatoes. We got a whole little table full of them, and then 2 more 5-gallon buckets yesterday. I'll probably post some pictures on here of the community or something like that. But anyway, it's busy. And like I said, I'm leaning towards small farming, I guess you would call it. And with that, we're still, barely breaking the surface, so to speak. But we are moving in that direction at a pretty good pace. So maybe this video will give you a taste of what homesteading and farming really is, versus how most people portray it on YouTube as a simple, easy life. Go out and throw a little feed and pet the animals, and sit down and sip sweet tea or something like that. Maybe it is for some people, but that is not the case in my experience. So, as you know, me and my wife both has a full-time job, hence where I'm at right now. So with that, it is work all day, rush home, try to rush through the normal feeding and watering and getting the eggs, normal maintenance type stuff, which for what we have going on right now, it usually runs 30 to 40 minutes a day doing that. Now for a lot of people, that seems like I'm making it up, and it seems like I'm moving pretty slow. But we have, I'd say, over 100 chickens, or at least right at 100. I hadn't done a head count in a while, but they're in a few different pens. So that is feeding, which usually we use self-feeders, but you have to fill them up every few days. The same way with the water, especially as hot as it is right now. Every day's in the 90s. The water doesn't last long. So we've got that. We've got the 2 dogs to feed and water, which ain't bad. They don't take but a second. We've got 6 goats to look after, to feed and water them and upkeep. We've got the 2 cows. Don't really feed them that much grain and everything. They just kind of grazing on the grass normally, but they go through a lot of water. The way I've got set up right now, I don't have a pond or any natural water source for them, so we have to water them. And the pigs are going through a lot of water. I just have a small waterer that's dug in the ground where they can reach. I'd say it's probably only 10 gallons or something like that. But I need to find a better way to do that. And also you have to, or at least we do, they have walled out places in there, and you kind of fill it up with water like a pond for them, so they can get in and roll around and cool themselves off, because pigs can't deal with a lot of heat because they can't sweat. So all that, we still got the 3 rabbits to tend to. Then that aside, you got whatever garden type stuff. Then beside that, I've been working on getting the tractor going and everything, and then all the equipment that goes along with that. And also you have to keep up with the fence upkeep. As a matter of fact, I've got a couple places that need to be fixed right now. And then lately, last couple weeks, I've been helping my buddy as much as I can. He's having vehicle issues and everything like that, and after I get home today, I'm planning on going and get a trailer from my dad's house and go and move that for him and different things. But lots of stuff going on, and hopefully you're still watching, because this is probably where the video is actually going to get interesting. I'm just trying to give you some background, lay the foundation and stuff like that. So a lot of people that are into prepping and whatever, they want to have this fantasy of things getting bad or just getting out or whatever, and moving to the country for a simpler, easy life. But if you're actually going to be homestead prepping, so-called, it's not going to be so easy, and it's not going to be so simple, especially if you've never done it before. So if you've never done it before, you're going to have to learn how to adapt to being in the country versus in a city, because it's totally different. I've never lived in a city, but I can tell that it's different. But you're going to have to learn how to grow your garden. You're going to have to learn how to, if you're going to till or no till, and what type of garden situation you're going to do, what grows in your area, what don't, what time to plant it, how deep, how much to water it. I heard a joke of a city person moving to the country, was going to be a chicken farmer, and said he went to this place bought 100 chickens one week. They come back next week and bought 100 more. And the guy asked him what he buying all them chickens for. And he said that he can't figure out how to make them grow. He said, I'm either planting them too deep or watering them too much. So, anyway, I'm not much of a joke teller, but it's a ton of work involved. It's a ton of learning involved. It's a ton of discipline involved. Like I said, right now, with everything being wide open as it is, I haven't been able to keep up with my own gardens as much as I wanted to, but it is what it is. Honestly, a little bit of weeds ain't really gonna hurt that much. But it's a lot of time consuming picking and processing all of your vegetables out of there, and then you're gonna need to learn how to can, in my opinion. Of course, you can freeze a lot of that stuff, but you know, your freezer can go out. You have a power outage, you got to figure out a way to power it, versus sitting in a jar, you're pretty much good. Canning is not that hard. It's not rocket science. They've been doing it for a long time. Probably, I don't know, I think about 1920s or something. Don't quote me on that because I ain't looked it up, but that's just what I'd guess. I know all through the 40s and 50s they did. People worked hard. They knew how to do stuff. That's how they got through the Depression. Alright, so after that, moving into livestock, you're going to have to learn how to build pens. You're going to have to learn how to take care of animals, what kind of animals you want, and your feed. Right now, for me, and I'm sure most other homesteaders and things like that, feed is a thorn in the side. It really is. It's very expensive, and as long as you're buying feed, you're dependent on somebody. If the feed store doesn't have it, if they have a shortage, different variables, if you're locked down and they're non-essential, yeah, you might see the problem with that. So I estimated up earlier, running some numbers, I go through about 400 pounds of mixed feed, which is corn and some other minerals, a week. That's mainly for the hogs and chickens. We usually feed the goats something else. And like I said, the cows we usually don't feed. Alright, so to put it in perspective, 400 pounds a week, give or take a few, 52 weeks in a year. I think it was like 20,800 pounds. So I rounded it up to 21,000 pounds of feed that we need, per year, as we are right now. So the feed I buy at the store, it's in 100-pound bags, and it's like $20. I estimated 20, but it's actually, the last batch I bought was $20.25. It has been as high as $21.50. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, it has come down a little bit from that. So just going by the $20 a bag, it is rounding up to about $4,200 a year. So $4,200 is feed expense, not counting the goats and if we feed the cows grain feed or anything like that. It's expensive. I'm gonna do a video sometime, hopefully. Usually I would try to make some videos on a rainy day, but to be honest, we're in a drought and we ain't had many of those. If we do have a rainy day, we only get about a half an inch to an inch, so it doesn't really slow down the program all that much. But it's expensive. Basically, we've been pouring a lot into the farm to get it established, prepping wise, and possibly being able to make a few dollars off of it down the road. And, I probably could have bought a newer truck or something big with that amount. I mean, not a $50,000 brand new truck, but I could have bought newer than what I'm driving. But right now, she's holding together and holding down the fort, and we're trying to pour it into more what I feel meaningful things. I really enjoy farming. A lot of people don't, but I grew up around it, and it's always just been a part of my life. So I really enjoy it, and I look forward to it. A lot of times it does get overwhelming, it does get frustrating, and it does get tiresome. It's been quite a few nights of being up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, either canning stuff or like putting the tractor back together and everything like that. So it's not, like I said, if you want to get into homesteading and farming, you're really going to have to buckle down and go for it. It's going to have to be something that you really enjoy and something you really want to do, or it's not going to be worth it to you. But anyway, I think it's important for us also to be teaching the kids all about these things, because these are practical skills that are really going to help them in life, in my opinion. Especially down the road that we seem to be going on now as a country. I think there's some hard days ahead, and it's really a lot of dying traditions. It's out with the old and in with the new, but is the new really better? There's a lot of people around here that are supposed to be country, supposed to be rural, but they don't have the skills to survive. They don't know how to can stuff. They don't know how to raise their food. They don't. A lot of people think if they live in the country or they move to the country, and this is probably the part where it's going to get, like I said, might ruffle a few feathers, but they think just because they live in the country or they move to the country, maybe they have a 4-wheel drive pickup, then that makes them country. But it don't. You listen to country music nowadays, which I don't listen to no whole lot of it. Personally, I think 99% of the new country songs that come out are none but trash. It's nothing but talking about partying and, drinking and carrying on and stuff like that. You listen to the old country songs. They were about real life things. They were about hard times. They were about working. They were about being proud of the work that you do, being a proud American, and a general, some of them ain't, but you know what I'm saying. Most of them had some kind of meaning to them. Nowadays, it ain't the case. Like I said, people think they get a 4-wheel drive pickup, they come out and spin around in a little bit of mud and sit on the tailgate and pop open a beer, and that makes them country. In my opinion, it don't. You got people out here that are supposed to be country, supposed to be rural, and they don't know how to do anything. They will be in the same shape of their knowledge, their skills, and basically their mindset in a SHTF as somebody in a big city like California, New York. And I mean, it's bad, but it's the honest truth. A lot of people in the country, they don't have the skills anymore. The older folks did. The younger folks don't. They rather go out partying and having a good time and living off somebody else's dime. They don't want to work. They don't want to make anything of themselves. They're nothing. It's just a leech on society. Really, after this last year, when everybody's been handed out free money, it's been more evident than ever. I got a little bit, as most everybody did. We got the stimulus deal, but I didn't get one dime of unemployment. We've been working the whole entire time, and that's the way I'd rather have it. I don't want a handout. I want to work for it. A lot of people don't share them values anymore. That's what I'm trying to put in my kids. The value of hard work and actually making something yourself. When you plant your food, you go out and harvest it, you put it up and can it, and you eat it the next year over the winter, and preserving yourself, not counting on somebody else to do it for you. They're really taking to a whole lot of it. I hope it sticks with them all the way through life, especially through teenage years. A lot of times that's when people stray from it, but a lot of times if the foundation is built right as a kid, they'll come back to it. I don't know. It's a really, really hard world to raise kids in right now. Yeah. With all the social media, all the things like that, which I don't have anything against social media per se. I think it's a very good tool. I've met a lot of good people through YouTube and things like that. But it's a lot that are bad influences. Nowadays you see kids all over Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, 10, 12 years old, taking all these pictures and stuff like that, and taking pictures of the middle fingers up and stuff like that. It's like, number one, you're 10 years old. Where is your parents at? I know kids will go behind your back and do things, but you need to instill the value system in them first. They see all these big superstars and stuff like that doing that stuff, and they're going to imitate it. That's what kids do. Second of all, like I said, all these 10, 12-year-olds and stuff like that doing all these different things, and even out with the protest and running their mouth on social media about different things. It's like, you're 10 years old. You don't even understand what you're talking about. You have no clue what the real world is. You're 18. You have no idea what you're talking about. You have no clue what's going on. Which a lot of people my age are in the same boat. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea what the real world is. A lot of people, they can't handle the real world. By that I mean responsibility. There used to be a time, pretty much before I was born, when a man took being a man and his job seriously. When you got married, started a family, raising kids, you didn't leave them. You manned up. You led the household. You raised your kids right, instilled in them values. You taught them how to be a decent human being. Nowadays, half of the homes are broken. Either they're divorced or the man will get some woman pregnant and run off and never see them again. And it really, now I'm not saying that a single parent can't raise a kid, and I'm not saying that a lot of times, one good parent is better for the kids than, some of the trash ones that are out here. There's exceptions to everything, but I'm saying generally, that's where a lot of the crime and this crazy stuff is coming from. There's no strong male figure in the picture to lead by example. That's why they think doing drugs and going out here and acting like a fool on the street, they think it's cool. It's not. I don't know. I'm hoping that there'll be more young people in my generation, or maybe the next generation to come, that'll realize these things and that'll get back to the way things are supposed to be. But I don't know if it'll happen or not. What this country needs is a big revival, getting back to God, back to the Bible, back to the biblical foundation. But anyway, I really need to take notes because I think it's still a couple things that I wanted to say that once I get into the video I just forget about. But I think that about covers the gist of it. Appreciate everybody watching. Stay prepped up, prayed up, and strapped up. See you.